Good afternoon. It is Thursday, March 5th, and it is 4:45 in the afternoon. And this is the Law and Ordinance Committee. My name is John Schweizer, I'm Chair. To my left is Mr. Bobby Phillips, and to my right is Ms. Lynn Snee. And we are here to discuss a property on Lytle Road. Mr. Chitterington?
Okay, this is
You wanted more?
an application. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is an application that was submitted by Sherry H. Mumpower for placement of farmland in an agricultural district. This is actually a reapplication because they have to apply every 5 years, so this is not the first application that they've submitted. The address is 1629 Lytle Road. There are 25.15 acres located in Troy. If you go across the street, they have more farmland. If you're familiar with the area, but that is in the county, so that's a separate application that the county will consider. There are no issues with it. We are recommending that it continue to be in an agricultural district. Does not impact anything differently as far as assessments, as far as nuisances, than has been in effect for as long as it's been in a district. I don't believe that we are asking for an emergency. That's true. We went first reading last meeting, so we're having this discussion. There is no need for an emergency.
Okay. There's a couple of these properties. We did one of these a few years ago up on North 25A, if I remember.
We've done a couple that I can recall. Most recently, we considered the Neal property.
Yes.
That was the most recent one.
Okay. Mr. Wolchek, questions?
No, this is,
Ms. Snee?
I have any questions.
Anybody in the audience have any questions?
obviously,
Let's move forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Anything else to come before long?
No,
Sure. Adjourned.
Thank you.
good afternoon. Today is the 5th of March at around 5 in the afternoon. This is the Streets and Sidewalks Committee. To my left is Councilman Brock Heath, and to my right is Councilwoman Lynn Snee. We are here to talk about 3 items: paving, sidewalks, and other things. So, Ms. Rhodes, are you going to lead off the discussion?
I can.
Come on down. See what prize you.
That's so mean.
I already told her before, so she.
I know, that's so weird.
She's back as surprised.
Good afternoon. So if we talk about 2015 paving program, staff is requesting authorization to bid the paving program, including additional city facilities. I don't know if you want me to go street by street and give you locations or anything.
You say no, but I'm saying yes.
No, that's not right. You want to hear that?
Actually, yes.
They like to hear me talk. Oh, it's not even on.
Well, for the folks that are watching this, it'll be nice for them. since
Okay.
they don't have written material.
So it's Lincoln Avenue from McCaig to the railroad tracks, Grant Street from McCaig Avenue to West Market Street, Peters Avenue from West Market Street to Ridge Avenue, Adams Street from Main Street to the butt joints at Adams Street Bridge, Surrey Road from Dorset Road to Trade Square East, Dartmouth Road from Branfield Road to Cornish Road, Salisbury Road from Branfield Road to the cul-de-sacs, Henley Road from Weston Avenue to Dorset Road, Henley Heather Road from Weston Avenue to the butt joint at 103 Heather Road, Farnham Road from Stony Creek Road to Norwich Road, South Lane from Stony Creek Road to Main Street, Cheshire Road from Dorset Road to Tetbury Road, Tetbury Road from Cheshire to the cul-de-sac, Tyrone Road from Dorset Road to Heather Road, Southwestern Road from Tyrone Road to West Main Street, and Ridge Avenue from McCaig Road to West Main Street. And then the facilities is Fire Station 3 will be overlaid, Community Park, I'm not sure if that's all of it or part of it. That's what I thought, part of it. Maintenance facility, all of the maintenance facility asphalt will be overlaid. Cemetery is a part, and wastewater treatment plant is the remaining half. Last year was the first half. So that's a total of $766,000, and we're requesting authorization.
We had, this was in the budget that we had approved, the total amount, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
I don't have any questions on this, do you? What do you have?
Just had a quick question.
Yeah.
If I could. The process to tear that up, how long does it take? How long will a road be out of commission while they do that?
Less than, a couple of hours, I
Oh,
think.
wow.
Yeah, and actually, depending on how they could maintenance the traffic right around the road. They won't necessarily close it, depending on the road. Sometimes they close it, sometimes they just, set up the maintenance of traffic and barrels around it and
Okay.
things like that.
So they don't actually have to grind down and take it down to a certain
They
level?
do grind down. They
Okay.
grind down 1.5 inches. It's an 1.5 inch overlay.
Okay.
So they do grind down and then they replace it with new asphalt. So, but it's, it's a whole process. The road may be ground down for, depending on weather and everything, that could be ground down for a week, before they come back in and overlay, because the contractor typically comes in and grinds everything and then comes back through and asphalt.
But it's all drivable.
Yes, it's all drivable, yes. And then they'll come back through and do striping at the end.
Well, there could be, there could be some minor manhole or little water access, things that have to be repaired. So
Yeah,
that
and
pre-maintenance will take a little bit of time.
yeah, and what we actually do after they grind off the 1.5 inches, just for you guys' information, if we do see a spot that looks like the base is really starting to break down, we call in the street department and they assist us with replacing that area, and then they would overlay it ultimately.
Okay. Thank you. That does answer it. I just wanted to be able, if somebody asked how long they're going to be down.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Did you have anything?
Yes, just briefly, just so people know, this list of roads is not arbitrarily picked at random. We do go out and rate each street every year and score them. And there's a specific engineering type standard scoring that you do for each road, in each section of that road, and then the worst ones are the ones that go to the top of the list. So, every year, the ones that rise to the top may move slightly just because of its relative position compared to another road that may have deteriorated worse, or maybe we've been able to do some spot repairs on another road that has allowed it to extend its life for just a little bit. And you do have to be certified to do that, and we do have staff that's certified. That's why this list came together. And as in previous years, though I don't think this was true last year, if bids come back better and we can do more than this list of streets, then we'll just continue down the list.
Just another note, just for your guys' information as well as the public's information, what we have began to do is we've began to really coordinate with Vectren. They're doing the pipeline replacement program, and they're doing it pretty strong. They're doing several different areas in the city in 1 year. And so what we're trying to do is we wait until they get through. They're not always running in the street, but if they are running in the street, we wait until they get through. And then, those roads obviously would kind of go up to the top of our paving program potentially. We also are evaluating our water line and our storm lines and our sanitary lines before we actually repave them. So the hope is that once we repave them, they are done. We won't have potentially water main break if we've had a lot of water. We're just trying to evaluate those, and kind of do a cost benefit analysis before we actually go and pave them. So there's some thought put into it, most certainly.
Can I then ask,
Yeah.
is there any work that Vectren's doing that would change roads on this list
No,
for this year? These are set.
these are set. Yes, this is work that Vectren has done in years past. Yes, and
Just Just so you're aware, I'm going to hit you with a pothole and water main break areas that we've had to patch at the end of all of this, so when we get through this.
Okay.
It's somewhat related to this committee.
And we do have our handy bed device that,
Our street department foreman's very anxious.
I thought they were looking more tan than usual. I'm just kidding.
there's some.
Any other questions on this item? Okay. You want to move right into the highway easement at Torrey O'Hana?
Mr. Chair, if I may ask.
Oh, sorry.
We're doing Grant Street from McKeag to West Market, but only doing Lincoln up to the railroad tracks.
Yes.
Does the rest of Lincoln not warrant being repaved?
No, I think that the rest of Lincoln is either involved in the, I believe it's involved in potentially Vectren work. There's a website, Vectren has a website out there, and we actually do have the maps as well. And I think, so we didn't want to repave it if Vectren's going to be in there doing work in the next year or two.
Yeah, I went and looked at that map today, and
Okay.
it looked like they are west of there now.
Okay,
In fact, when I looked at it, it looked like, well, we're gonna do McKeag Avenue. McKeag's gonna be involved in some of their.
and we're coordinating with them.
Okay.
Yeah, so they'll be in and out before we actually do the reconstruction of McKeag.
Yeah, and that one end of Lincoln is where Hobart is, and the one call now building, that's that area down through to West Market.
Yeah, I'm not certain. I don't have a direct answer for you. I can look into it, but I'm sure that there's a reason.
Okay. And then Adams Street,
Well, and
will they be done with the demolition of the Hobart building before we start that? They'll be all done with that?
Yeah, well, we'll make
Yeah.
sure of that. We
Yeah.
don't want their equipment driving on the
Right.
asphalt.
correct.
Right. And then just to have it on the record, Ray Street is in desperate need.
Race
I
Drive.
think you said that they are going to have some water work done in there.
Race Drive or Race Street?
Ray Street.
The one that
Am
we're
I?
talking about.
Yeah. And, yeah, there's a water line going in from Grant to Garfield, between Grant and Garfield, in the next couple of months. And so obviously we don't want to repave it now. And also, there's a 1-year maintenance and guarantee bond on every project. So we want to give the project, the water line, once it's installed, time to settle, if it is going to settle, before we would pave it as well, because that'll affect our final asphalt.
Okay. And again, that's just a major
Mm-hmm.
thoroughfare between Ridge Avenue and Main Street, and that's what the fire department and the EMTs use to get over to Ridge Avenue from Fire Station 1. So we need to do something with that area right in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have nothing further.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience have any other questions on this item? Okay, let's roll right
Are you
into,
going to make these will be separate legislative items, so I didn't know if you would be making separate recommendations.
recommendation of the board. Okay. We'll move forward on this one.
Thank you.
Now we'll roll into the next one. Whenever you get it done.
The next one is the acceptance of a highway easement for the Troy-Urbana Road realignment. This is part of the realignment that's going on up there, the new intersection along North Market Street. And we just needed additional easement. It's from TTF Brown LLC, and they are providing it at no cost. They're providing us the land. So we recommend and request the legislation be prepared to accept this easement.
I don't have any questions on this item.
I just wondered what happens to the easement right away from the old alignment of the road. Does that make sense?
We're discussing what our options would be, which may include, we're not sure if we would have to, we would be able to vacate that, or if we would have to put it up for sale because of the way the state law is. It really would only perhaps have some limited value to the property owner to the south.
And also there's existing utilities there, so an easement will be required, not necessarily our utilities, But I do believe there's phone and potentially gas. So it would be an easement, you know, if the right of way, if we could vacate the right of way potentially.
Anyone else have any questions on this item? What's your pleasure? Move forward. Moving forward with this one. McCaig Road.
So McCaig Road Phase 2, the project has been under design since the beginning of 15. It is McCaig Road from Monroe Street, which is on the east side, to the railroad tracks, or Madison Avenue on the west end. The project is a complete street reconstruction, sidewalk replacement, storm sewer installation, including a jack and bore under the CSX railroad, and water and sanitary sewer upgrades. Not the entire length of water and sanitary sewer, just where it was necessary. Again, we did evaluation of our assets. The design estimate at this point, we're requesting $1.142 million for authorization to bid McCaig Road Improvements Phase 2. And there's kind of the cost breakdown provided for you in your table. We do have a $450,000 OPWC grant associated with this project.
And in the report, the cost estimate is exceeding the original price tag, and that is because of the water sewer lines that were not taken into account.
The stormwater line is the big thing. We didn't realize before we went out there that there was no storm line at all along this stretch of the road, of McCaig Road. So it was sized, and then going under CSX railroad track is another expense that wasn't accounted for.
And the balance of that, above the $939,000, will come from the stormwater.
Majority of it will, yes.
The balance of it that doesn't come out of stormwater will come from where?
There is a little bit additional requested in water, and then 442, and I believe 442 has the balance, the fund balance to be able to handle that.
Capital improvement.
Yeah,
No, that's OP.
It's act-
442 is the OPWC fund. 441 is the capital.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. I don't have any questions on this one. Mr. Schweizer? Anyone in the audience have any questions on this item? And this is not an emergency because, what's your pleasure on this?
Say before.
All right. We will move forward with this one also.
Thank you very much.
Any other items to come before the Streets and Sidewalk Committee?